What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Back with my segment, Boxing Ego First Look. If you're new to the channel, what First Look is a sneak preview, a peek into a fight before the fight. Now, I'm really looking forward to this fight, presented by Premier Boxing Champs. Saturday, April 16th, you have the young gun, Errol Spence Jr., who's a former Olympian, going up against former kickboxer, now boxer, Chris Algieri. This also has a good undercard. You have Glowacki fighting Steve Cunningham, who's dropping back down to Cruiserweight. Now, if you watch Glowacki's last fight versus Marco Huck, that was a very good fight. Fight of the year candidate, and that's where he won the title. And now Steve Cunningham, dropping back down from heavyweight, will challenge for that title. Very good undercard. And of course, the main event taking place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. I'm really looking forward to it. Reason being is Errol Spence Jr., he's getting some of the best praise from some of the most important people in boxing. Guys like Floyd Mayweather Jr., guys like Freddie Roach, who's been a multiple-time trainer of the year. And they're giving this guy high praise. I've seen him, I watched all of his fights, and he looks good, he looks ready. The thing that his resume is missing as he steps up in competition is a big name, like a name where you see that name and you're like, hey, I've seen this guy fight 2 or 3 times previously. This is not my first time watching that guy fight. And this is that type of challenge for Errol Spence Jr. He's going in against Chris Algieri. Now, Chris Algieri has been in with guys like Ruslan Provodnikov, very hard fought fight. He had one eye basically because Ruslan has massive punching power, hurt him bad in the first round. He survived that, went on to box and outbox Ruslan Provodnikov to a split decision victory where he became a champion and took Ruslan's belt. Immediately after that, he went in and took a tall order against legend Manny Pacquiao, and that didn't go so well for him. But he got knocked down 6 times versus Pacquiao, and it was a learning experience to say the least. He made some adjustments with his corner and partnered up with Sergey Kovalev trainer John David Jackson, and he gave a really good fight and held a good account of himself versus Amir Khan. And then he also fought Eric Bonet on PBC as well on the undercard, and that's his current trainer, John David Jackson. Very good trainer, and I like the work that John David Jackson has been doing with Chris Algieri. He seems a bit more offensive, but he's still maintaining some boxing ability. Now let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Errol Spence Jr. is undefeated with a record of 19-0. Chris Algieri is 21-2. Those 2 losses, again, one comes from Manny Pacquiao, the other loss is to Amir Khan. Now you look at the age, Errol Spence Jr. clearly has the age advantage. He's 26 years old, Chris Algieri being 32. So maybe a little bit more experience. He's fought as a pro, and he also came from another discipline in martial arts before he became a kickboxer. The heights are very close. Errol Spence Jr. 5'9.5", with Chris Algieri being 5'10". The fight is taking place at the full welterweight limit, so 147 pounds, and they have an identical reach of 72 inches, which is actually long reach for a welterweight. Floyd Mayweather, for those, just a fun fact, Floyd Mayweather has a 72-inch reach, and he uses it to perfection with precision punching and to reach the target from the outside. So this is a fun fight. You got 2 guys with long arms for welterweights, and it's going to be a good fight. I think Errol Spence Jr., what he does really well is his dedication to the body, right? Chris Algieri, as I mentioned, he's been a bit more aggressive with John David Jackson, but not too careless. And he always has the experience from Pacquiao fights. So you look at resume, Chris Algieri, win, lose, or draw, he's been in there with better names than Errol Spence. He's been in there with guys like Ruslan Provodnikov, Amir Khan, and obviously Manny Pacquiao, who just looked great and looked sharp versus Tim Bradley in the rubber match. So he's bringing a lot of experience to this fight, and this is the big step up for Errol Spence Jr. So I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out. Another thing is, you got to give Errol Spence Jr., who's been stopping a lot of his recent opponents, you got to give him credit if he is able to stop Chris Algieri, right? If he stops Chris Algieri, we're talking about a guy who's been in there with Pacquiao, who has power, Ruslan Provodnikov, and a silver medalist in Amir Khan. None of them stopped Chris Algieri, although he was hurt badly in the Ruslan fight, and he got knocked down and hurt in the Pacquiao fight. So if Errol Spence Jr. can get that done, then a star is born. And then same thing with Chris Algieri. If he wins this fight, that resurrects his career, because even though he only has 2 losses, you don't want to be on the losing side of things too long in the sport of boxing. That's just how it goes. That's how the business goes. And he was in high profile fights where he took losses to Khan and to Pacquiao. So he needs to get back on the track of winning with a big name. He beat Eric Bonet, and if he could beat Errol Spence Jr., then his marketability and his stock definitely goes up. So that's the tale of the tape. Errol Spence Jr. versus Chris Algieri. Drop in the comment section who wins this fight. Is Errol Spence Jr. the truth, like his nickname suggests? Is he overrated? What do you think with Chris Algieri? Do you like his training with John David Jackson? Do you think he's in over his head? Drop all that in the comment section. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.